Thiebaud is an American artist best known for his colorful works depicting commonplace objects such as pies, lipsticks, hot dogs, and paint cans, as well as for his landscapes and figures. As Andre Marshall Workman tells us, Wayne has been described as the poet laureate of the coffee break, a disciple of Plato in search of the perfect triangle, sphere, and cube. His work has been associated with pop art, new realism, and American realism. The underlying abstract structure of his forms has been cited over and over again and is as an important stylistic feature of his art. In short, there have been as many interpretations of his still lifes, landscapes, figures, and cityscapes as there have been essays written about them by critics and art historians. Wayne has been described as an eclectic painter, haunted by tradition, dedicated to working within the continuum of art history, and concerned with developing new forms out of this continuity without rejecting the past. Wayne Thiebaud was born November 15, 1920 in Mesa, Arizona. When he was a young boy, his family moved to California, to Long Beach. When he was a junior in high school, he broke his back playing football. So while he was recuperating, he kept busy by drawing. He really loved cartooning. He became so skillful that to this day he can draw Popeye with both hands at the same time. While still in high school, he landed a job at Walt Disney Studios. During World War II, Wayne joined the Air Force. He was 22 and wanted to be a pilot, but he ended up being an Army artist instead. He created a cartoon strip called Alec for the Army-based newspaper. While in the Army, he married and they had a daughter. Later settled in Los Angeles, and he went to work for Rexall Drug as an art director for the company Employee magazine. At this time, he became seriously interested in fine art. He learned about painting from a colleague named Robert Mallory. Then he decided he wanted to get a college degree so he could teach art in order to support his family. He ended up graduating from Cal State University, Sacramento. He taught at Sacramento City College, and in 1954 he became the department chair there, and then he also went on to teach at UC Davis. He took a sabbatical year during this time in New York City, where he made the acquaintances of leading American painters of the day. Among them were the abstract expressionists William de Kooning and Franz Kline, as well as Robert Rauschenberg and Jasper Johns, two painters whose work would be later identified as cornerstones of the pop art movement. At this time, he began to paint small canvases depicting brightly colored food products, pies, cakes, candy, and ice cream cones. After he did his first picture of a row of pies, he sat down and laughed. He wondered if people would think that he flipped or gone crazy. He thought that this new work would probably end his career as an artist. But he really enjoyed what he was doing. Wayne followed a tradition of realistic painting. He wanted to portray real things clearly and with feeling. Finally, after a few failed art shows, he had a gallery in New York where he could show his work. His success in 1962 was also the same time that Andy Warhol hit the art scene, which brought about the term pop art, which meant art that was based on products and messages from popular culture. Wayne went on to experiment with a variety of media in making pictures of the same subject. He portrayed cakes in oil paint, watercolor, and pastels. He even tried printmaking techniques. A lithograph titled Display shows assorted desserts in shimmering colors. To make a lithograph, Wayne drew directly on stone, then the image was printed on paper in black and white. He often kept these prints around the studio and later reworked them by using crayons, pastels, watercolor, tempera, oil, and acrylic. He was always surprised by his results. To create bright color, Wayne hit on the idea of outlining shapes like the cupcakes, in vivid blues and greens. The rainbow edges came about accidentally. Wayne's method of starting a painting was to sketch shapes in a light color, such as yellow. Then he went back and added deeper colors. As he layered the paint, some of the color underneath remained as outlines, and he found that he really liked these halos that they made. At last, he developed a style of painting that was uniquely his. In most of his paintings, you can see a lot of shadows and light, which I think is distinct of his paintings. One of Wayne's best known portraits is called Girl with the Ice Cream Cone. This was in 1963 when Wayne started painting people. It combines two of his favorite subjects, his wife and ice cream. So after Wayne started doing figures, then he went on and tackled landscapes. He always loved the look of the area that he lived, the Sacramento River Delta. So he did many landscapes of that area. He, in Highland River and Wye River, he played with perspective in Highland River. The trees closer to the view are bigger than the ones farther away near the top of the painting. In Wye River, things are turned around and he made the trees farther back bigger than the ones up front. So the whole picture just seems flat. And in his painting, The River House and the Pond, the scenes look as though we're seeing them from a spot, he's seeing them from a spot on the ground. The pictures include the horizon line where the earth meets the sky. Then, to add to his challenging of his artistry, he started doing cityscapes. He bought a second house in San Francisco so he could paint the streets and buildings there. So one day he took out his easel, went on the street, it was 24th Street, and he just started painting this intersection. And it had steep hills, and the streets and the hills were very steep. But he felt that painting the scenes just as they looked did not get across the scary feeling that he wanted to convey. So he changed his method. He began to make a lot of drawings with graphite or charcoal on paper, which he could move around a lot, kind of playing with them. Wayne made many sketches, many that were destroyed, but he did keep one called Holy Park Ridge. Basically, it's a dramatic view looking down on the top of tall buildings and trees lining steep streets that seem to go straight up in the air. A diagonal shape representing a road plunges through the composition from the right side to the lower left corner. It sweeps down like a skateboard ramp. I chose Wayne Thiebaud because I found out about him from one of our discussion posts. I really, really liked his art. It just seemed so happy and real and something that would put a smile on someone's face. So the more I researched him, I found out that not only did he do these fun arts as the cupcakes and the lipsticks and the sunglasses, but he also did landscapes and figures and cityscapes, and it was truly awesome to see how hard he worked and how successful he did become, but it didn't come easy for him. He had a lot of trial and error, and I really respect that, and I admire him, especially that he started so young, and then, he's this older gentleman now, and he is a true success. And it's also art that I would buy and put in my house. So I really enjoyed doing this project, and I hope that it conveyed a good message about